A Florida sheriff's deputy is out of jail on bond this morning after a shocking video showed him slamming a teenage girl to the ground. The surveillance footage caught 38-year-old school resource officer, look at that, Willard Miller, manhandling the 15-year-old girl at a school for children with special needs. He is charged with 1 count of felony child abuse without great bodily harm. He's now been suspended without pay. Mola Lenghi is across the street from Cross Creek School, that's in Pompano Beach, Florida. Mola, this video is very tough to watch. What more do we know about this story?
Well, yeah, good morning, Gayle. The incident happened here back in September here at this school, as you mentioned, for students with behavioral and emotional issues. Now, because the video is silent, we can't hear exactly what was said in the room. But while this investigation is ongoing, the Broward County Sheriff says that the officer's actions were unacceptable.
Just after 2 p.m. on September 25th, school surveillance video shows a 15-year-old girl waiting inside an office with an officer and 2 other adults. You can see the student lightly kick the officer in the back of the knee, causing his leg to slightly buckle. But a minute later, the officer rushes over, grabs her around the neck, and slams her to the ground. He then turns her over, puts his knee into her back, and holds her hands behind her before throwing her into another room.
The way the deputy responds for whatever occurred, whatever type of verbal dialogue was going on, it makes no sense and it wasn't necessary.
School resource officers nationwide have come under increasing scrutiny for several recent excessive force claims involving young children. In New Mexico, a resource officer resigned after body cam video from August showed him tackle an 11-year-old middle school student to the ground. And in September, an Orlando officer was fired after he arrested 2 6-year-olds at school. Back in Broward, the Sheriff's Department is focused on fixing its own problems. Just this year, Sheriff Gregory Toney fired this deputy for punching a handcuffed man in the hospital. And he suspended 2 deputies without pay for tackling and pepper spraying a 15-year-old boy in a McDonald's parking lot.
If I have to do this 15 more times, we're going to do it 15 more times. And to those small fraction of people out there and deputies who don't get it are held accountable, and we're going to move them on.
Now, the Broward County Sheriff's Office is conducting an internal investigation before deciding what steps to take next with the officer in this latest incident, including possible termination. If convicted, Deputy Miller faces up to 5 years in prison, Anthony.
All right, Mola, thank you. As hard as that video is to watch, it's good that we have it so we know what happened.
But I applaud Broward County. Yeah. Normally in those sometimes in those situations, officials say, well, you haven't seen the whole tape. Yep. There's more to the story. He's saying, what we just saw, whatever happened,
not acceptable.
My mother is a special education teacher. Those jobs are full of tough calls, but the one we saw on that tape was not a tough call.
Absolutely right.